Just more than 250 years ago, an extremely infectious disease swept over the globe like a fast-moving cloud storm. It brought about severe rashes, severe splinters, and permanent scars in people that it affected. There was not a square meter of land that was not contaminated by this disease. For thousands of years, humans lived in the shadow of this deadly virus, trying to find a cure but not being able to. Take a look, here's someone infected with this disease, smallpox. Pretty gross, isn't it? The good news is that smallpox vaccination has been invented 230 years ago. Would you believe that the disease itself has been eradicated for 40 years? It was the first infectious disease to be eradicated in 1980 following a global immunization campaign. Since then, the disease that was responsible for 500 million deaths waved goodbye in history. Today, we grew up in a world free of smallpox because of effective vaccination. And this is why immunization is important. It began our fight against virus-caused disease that used to spread across the world like a wildfire and kill 30% of its victims. Vaccination had won us the struggle against smallpox. It provided for immunity at a cost per dose of $3 per dose. As a result today, there is no natural occurring cases of smallpox. A misconception about vaccine is why bother? Getting vaccination takes time and money, but this is the opposite of truth. Let's use an analogy to understand how easy getting vaccinated truly is. If there was a button that would guarantee to save a life from falling seriously ill, a button that will save you the trouble of being sick, and then in return you get a sore arm for a few days, would you press on it? What if the button is free of charge? This is how I see vaccination. Getting vaccinated today is easy like pressing on that button. In fact, vaccines save more time and money than the cost and time required to take care of a sick child. You have to know a disease is costly to treat, often involving doctor's visits and hospitalizations. Since children under 5 with the flu could be contagious for more than 8 days, their caretakers who usually spend more money and more time with the sick child. It would be much easier to prevent the disease in the first place. Vaccinations has been outstandingly effective for disease prevention in children and people with weak immune system. A child or an infant is extremely vulnerable to disease and infections. An infant's immune system doesn't mature until around 2 to 3 months. All kinds of diseases that a 3-year-old can fight off can be life-threatening for a child under 6 months of age. Dr. Camille Sabella, director of the Center for Pediatric Infectious Diseases at Cleveland Clinic Children's, she says babies should receive the vaccine within the first 2 months. The effectiveness of vaccination is backed up by statistics. According to American Academy of Pediatrics, most vaccinations taken at childhood are 90% to 99% effective in preventing the disease. Take a look at this picture. This was drawn by Amanda Kanowitz. Her parents would say she lit up the room and she was just a happy, bubbly girl. Amanda was a little ballerina who enjoyed dancing and singing. She loved art, flowers, the color pink, rainbows, butterflies, and Disney princesses. Let me tell you the story of 4-year-old Amanda. On the morning of February 2004, Amanda was having a bad cough and a mild fever. She had gotten it from the previous day coming home from school. It was a strange cough, and it continued through the weekend, as her father recalled. She spent the entire Saturday playing her favorite game with her family. The next morning, Amanda began vomiting. It appeared like a normal virus, but it was influenza, and her parents didn't know at the time. The same evening, her lips started to go gray. Amanda's mother called the family doctor on the phone, and the doctor suggested Amanda to drink more water. Stay hydrated and she would be okay. The same weekend, the doctor received 60 more calls about the same virus. Amanda's mother, Elisa Kanowitz, told her story in an interview. At 3:30 a.m. on March 1st, Monday, Amanda asked for water. She was concerned because she had drunk a cup of water instead of taking sips. She said she had a stomachache, and then she asked to go to the bathroom. 4 hours later at 7:30 a.m., 3 days after Amanda developed symptoms of influenza, Amanda's parents found her cold in bed, lifeless. The Kanowitz family have suffered the devastating loss of Amanda. Amanda was not vaccinated, and her parents told Amanda's story, hoping to raise awareness of vaccination. This asking people to not make the same mistake they did. They say the single most effective thing parents can do is to get their children vaccinated. Don't think it's just a flu. The major reason anti-vaxxers oppose vaccination is the serious side effects that vaccines sometimes cause. But this is merely a misconception held from lack of knowledge. Let's talk about statistics. The chance of extreme adverse reactions between 1 in 100,000 and 1 in a million. In terms of death per 100,000 population from car crash annually, Australia's number is 5.34. So lucky for you, you're more likely to die in a car crash than of allergic reactions following immunization. To understand why allergic reactions occur, it's important to understand how vaccines work. The early prevention method for smallpox virus was to cut or scratch the smallpox virus into one's arm. This weakened virus still causes effects of illness. It trains the immune system to combat pathogens. But people who got the vaccine did not get the smallpox again. Ideally, the immune system of a healthy body reacts to the weakened virus and eventually defeat the invading pathogen. But when someone with a weak immune system is exposed to viruses, the dose can be dangerous and weaken the immune system. To prevent injuries caused by adverse reactions, vaccine receivers are always required to stay 15 minutes after the shot. So vaccines are not dangerous if you know the statistics and the probabilities behind it. The odds is so tiny you don't have to worry about it. In conclusion, vaccine is the best way to protect yourself and others from preventable disease. It helps to save lives and stop spreading of the disease. It saves money and time that hospital visits and medical billings would have taken up. Immunization reactions are extremely rare and they typically stop 6 to 12 days after the shot. It saves life and you should take it.